action. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: while Grand Bahama continues to get its share of the cruise business, an executive with a major cruise line says all is not well when it comes to the country's cruise business. He is cautioning that changes must be made if the country is to survive in the competitive market. Sabrina Brown has our top story.
Carnival Corporation is the largest cruise company in the world, with 9 cruise lines and 101 ships. Senior Vice President of Port Destination Development, Giora Israel, says Carnival continues to do big business in the Bahamas. However, it is the only major cruise company that doesn't have its own private island facility in this country.
Disney has one in Gorda Key that they call Castaway Key. Royal Caribbean has one they call Coco Key. NCL one has one called Little Stirrup Key. Princess has one, Princess Key in Bannerman Town in South Eleuthera. Holland America has Half Moon Key next to Rum Key.
The Carnival executive says they are now in discussions with the Bahamas government on this issue, and this could mean good news for Grand Bahama.
Why not to do it, for example, in Freeport? And then we have the benefit and obviously the impact of being on a major island with a lot of already existing infrastructure. So we are in discussion with government on that.
Many of Carnival's ships call at Grand Bahama on a weekly basis, but Israel maintains the position that the Freeport Harbor is not the most suitable for cruise vessels. Some years back, there were talks about Carnival constructing a new cruise port in Williamstown, but that is no longer on the drawing board.
The questions that came about that the area is not big enough, there were some other claims on that piece of land. So we have decided that it would be better not to do it there. One of the things that Grand Bahama Island has, and I don't have to tell you that it's a big island. And if the island and if Grand Bahama, true to its vision, will grow and expand, why not to stretch the island? Why not push it more to the east?
As some provisions of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement relative to the exemption of business license fees and real property tax are set to expire in August of this year, Israel, who is also a member of the Board of Executives at the Grand Bahama Shipyard, believes tax exemptions provided under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement gives Grand Bahama a competitive edge.
The benefits out of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement were a key reason to build the Grand Bahama Shipyard with all its economical engine to Grand Bahama there. So, business needs to be encouraged.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, one business operator on Tino Beach is happy because he has gotten a fair share of the cruise business this week. This is spring break and hundreds of cruise ship passengers are descending on Tino Beach. They are hoping this level of business can be sustained in the months ahead. Natalia Hall reports.
A site that has been around for over 5 years is now booming with hundreds of tourists from all over the world. Junkanoo Beach Club is offering many activities for visitors on the island, such as kayaking, tug-of-war games, Junkanoo performances, and much more. The club is not only benefiting tourists, but residents as well, as it has provided a number of job opportunities. Owner Ed Gates say the area that was once a ghost town has now transformed.
Nothing was happening here, and now after our efforts have paid off, we've brought an economy to this area. If you look at all the jobs that have been created here, not just people who work for us, but people who work on the beach and do the wood carving, selling the t-shirts, and jet ski operators, and so forth. Guests who come here have a very long time to relax and enjoy themselves. They're not rushed. They come here and they spend a good 4 or 5 hours on the beach. And that's what most of them seem to want. They don't want to rush into a place, and before they can get good and relaxed, they have to rush back to the harbor. So here they can do that. And that's one of the reasons we've been successful.
Visitors say Grand Bahama is the ultimate vacation spot.
We decided to come to the beach because where we're from, the beach is not this pretty. Like, we have seaweed everywhere and the water's really dark, but here it's gorgeous and we're not used to this.
What are you going to tell your friends and your family back home about the Bahamas?
I'm going to tell them that they should come to the Bahamas if they want to have safe, fun, in a beautiful location with really nice people.
Beautiful, beautiful women, beautiful people. Everybody's great.
Everybody's nice.
Lovely. Paradise on earth.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
It's Talia Hall, 7S Network News.
Well, members of the Constitutional Commission on their final leg of their educational campaign on Grand Bahama, the Commission held a forum at the Foster B. Pastina Center to discuss the 4 proposed gender equality bills. Kimberly Mullings has the details.
It would appear that Grand Bahamians now have a good understanding of the 4 proposed bills, which deal with citizenship and gender equality. The Constitutional Commission held another forum in Grand Bahama, this time in the Freeport area. The presenters were retired Justice Ruby Nottage and attorney Wentz Martin. Reverend Wayne Carey attended the forum and says he appreciated the presentations, noting that they offered much needed clarity. However, he had some concerns on the issue of gender equality.
You have to be very careful in terms of, when we talk about the equality, it's explained, simplified, and it's explained that way. But when you look at it, I think it could. One of the bills in that bill, when we talk about equality, it can open up the door for so many things. When the Bahamians or the Bahamas were to want to interact with other nations, per se, they are saying to us that you have to have this equality in your country. You can't discriminate, and so we have to find out what that equality is. Now, when we talk about equal treatment under the law, I mean, I'm all for the for the equal treatment.
Also attending the forum were students from Jack Hayward High School. Senior Ajay Oliver says he didn't know much about the Bahamas' constitution.
I came here with an open mind because I do not really know that much about our constitution. I didn't know the more deeper things, I would say, because we don't really get taught that in our everyday curriculum.
Oliver hopes gender equality prevails.
Despite of our sex, I feel like a man and a female should both have their equal abilities and they should all have the same rights.
It is a vital part of our Bahamian society, and it is not taught in our schools, which is a tragedy, and we should implement it in our schools. The foreign students that are in our schools should know more about our Constitution, and not just the foreign students, the Bahamian students as well. We do not know who are Bahamians and how we become Bahamians.
Most Bahamians don't really now know about the Constitution, that's not their main focus. I was really interested because I've never been to one, but it's really informative and I got a lot of information. If more people actually came out, it would have been successful. I mean, it is successful, but it would educate us more and we'd have more knowledge about our country.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Kimberly. Well, members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force meeting in a leadership seminar this morning. Officers were encouraged to remain focused on the task ahead. Megan Shepard was there.
Commissioner of Police for the Bahamas, Alison Greenslade, issuing a comprehensive crime overview for the country earlier this week, noting that crime has seen a significant decrease. On Friday afternoon, Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Bahamas, Emerick Seymour, meeting with the press to note that he is pleased with the work being done by the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Crime in the overall Bahamas would have decreased by an overall 18%, and that's Bahamas-wide. And the only challenge we've had, because we've had decreases in all of our categories of crime. That's crimes against the persons, crimes against the property, with the exception of, and he mentioned murder. Okay, murder was our Achilles heel for this year, but all other acts of criminality, crimes against the persons, crimes against the Bahamas, have seen significant decreases.
He adds that in 2014, the murder count for Grand Bahama was 10, and of those 10, 5 still remain unsolved. But he is optimistic that these outstanding matters will be resolved.
We would have solved 5 of the 10. I'm looking for 3 suspects and 3 of the other ones, 3 named suspects. We're zeroing on 1 right now that'll make 6, and of course we have two other ones. So there are 2 outstanding. I can tell you there are 2 outstanding ones that we're still working with. But we have 3 named suspects in 3 of the 5 that are outstanding. So we would have solved 5. We have 3 suspects in 3 of the others, and of course we so 2 would be the one that are giving us some some problems.
Two of those outstanding cases, he adds, are that of Americans Anthony Kyle Walsh and Canadian Edgar George Dart. But in 2014, Grand Bahama made significant progress in the war on drugs with several major drug finds. ACP Seymour even calling them historic.
We've seen some significant drug seizures in Grand Bahama. Last year has been definitely a record-breaking year for us because we continue to have our law enforcement arms out, resources out to curtail these acts of criminality as they happen. Grand Bahama is, we've seen it over and repeatedly, is perhaps could be considered a transshipment point. We've seen it, our evidence suggests that.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.